Welcome back for Season 3, Episode number 2 of Aberdeen FC, the Red Revival. Today we've got a Champions League game away to Napoli to take in. Before we do that, we'll get a recap anyway, just of what's happened off camera since I was last with you. Yeah, away to Napoli today in this episode, and also at home to Manchester City as well. So just a quick recap then in terms of the schedule. We left off with the Dundee United game, and next up was Hibs. We had a very entertaining 4-4 draw in that game. Brandon Williams made things very difficult for us, getting sent off right at half time. But John Kennedy got on the score sheet, Bricalo, Eriugo and Portanova. We then played Ferencvaros in our first game in the Champions League this season. Our youngster Scott Boyle got on the score sheet. Side's looking pretty good, looks to be improving. But we're kind of limited with who we can play in the Champions League because of homegrown requirements, so we had to also take Bradley Tooney on with us, who came on, made his Champions League debut, but good start there. We then come up against Hearts and we won 7-0. Wanta hat-trick, Rainier, Eriugo double and Mastantuono get on the score sheet. We then played St Johnstone at McDermott Park, came out with a 5-2 win, Mosquera double, Hannibal double and Wanta on the score sheet as well. St Johnstone did have chances in that game and took a couple of them as well themselves. And we then came up against Ross County at home. Again, standard Ross County game, very difficult to break them down. We scored in the 3rd minute through Wanta and didn't score any more after that. So what we'll do is I will move on and show you what the odds were for the Champions League just before we get on to the Napoli game. So the Champions League odds for this season, which is our second season in the competition. Real Madrid have been made the 2-1 favourites, so very short odds again for Real Madrid. Looking at the rest of the contenders, you got Arsenal, PSG, Bayern and Liverpool. Surprisingly, Man City aren't up there for some reason. They are definitely in the competition because we're playing them. We've got odds of 4,000 to 1, so they've dropped us from 10,000 to 1 last season after our quarter-final performance. Real Madrid have won the last 3 competitions, which maybe shows why they're heavy favourites to win again this time around. Yeah, some big teams in here. We're there as well. And I think it's going to be tough again this season, unfortunately. Going down to the Europa League, we can see Celtic are in there. They haven't managed to qualify for the Champions League, getting put out the qualifiers, and we've got Rangers as well in there representing Scotland. No further sides within that competition. And the Europa Conference League, unfortunately, we don't have anyone from Scotland representing, I'm afraid. So it won't help with our coefficients going forward, but we can't really do too much about that. If we look and see the teams that were in for Scotland, where they fell, we had Kilmarnock and Dundee United. Kilmarnock falling in the 4th qualifying round, United in the 2nd qualifying round, unfortunately. Not much we can do about that. See, hopefully that continues, improves going forward, but we'll move on to the Napoli game. So that brings us on nicely back then to the game away at Napoli. We'll go on to team selection. Like you see the team sheet for today's game. We've got Dalberg in goals, Mikic at right back, Cittadini partners Siebert in central defence, Borza will start at left back today, Daga in defensive midfield, Portanova in the right wing, Hannibal in centre mid, Mosquera in left wing, Sunsut Bell and Kennedy up front. Made a couple of tweaks to the tactic. I think we've got better defenders now, so I've made the central defender here into a ball playing defender. Again, just similar instructions, just tackle harder. And the left back role, initially we made him a complete wing back at the start, just due to having Wilson Esbrand and Man City wanted us to play him there. Worked out well for us, but I think going forward I'm going to go with the full back and attack just to get him to the byline a bit more, to provide a little bit more creativity, especially when Mosquera's cutting in. Finding a lot of the complete wing backs cutting in as well, so just going to have him going forward a little bit more going forward and see how that goes. It's worked relatively well so far, so we'll get the team submitted and see how we can get on. So Francesco's on the bench today. Francesco squared, so we'll see if we can bring him on. I highly doubt it because I don't expect us to be in a comfortable position at this game to play any of the youngsters. We'll just need to wait and see really. So into the dressing room. I'm just going to say to them today that I'm going to say actually media's given us a lot of credit. Let's see if we can get some form of reaction from the players here. couldn't register a full quota of players for the Champions League squad, so a lot of the youngsters do come out in this. So we've got it looks like a 5-2-3 for Napoli today, and we are lining up with our standard 4-4-2, try and make it difficult for them. And the game's underway. So Napoli look like they're playing quite a defensive formation despite having home advantage. It is Antonio Conte is the manager there. He came out in the press and declared that Aberdeen are an easy fixture, so I'm hopeful that that's at least spurred the boys on today to give us a good performance. And 20 minutes in, no highlights, so just coming up for the first highlight now, but we look to have had slightly the better of the game so far. So we play it forward for Portanova, Mikic picks it up, carries it down the right, swings it in, and it's got to the back post, and John Kennedy's given us the lead today. Good goal for Kennedy there, just to poach that at the back post for us. As I said, I think stats wise we're doing pretty well. Napoli yet to have a shot and goal, as we have another highlight here. Just trying to look for a breakthrough by the looks of things, but Napoli potentially looking to counter, and Jude's managed to get back there. Jude's still not quite sharp yet following his injury, but it was either play Jude or play the youngster again up front. Scored in the last game, and I felt Jude was probably the better option. Might need to bring him off though at some stage, but Napoli look to be threatening to do something here with this highlight. Falcone, and it's played through, and Osimhen has scored for them. Just a shame I didn't have the update where he's not there, but I suppose he would have been back by now from his loan spell. So yeah, 1-1. Napoli scored their first chance of the game. It was a kind of clear chance anyway. You can see with the XG there is 0.62. It would have been harder for him not to score it. But 1-1, it's not a terrible result here. If we could come away with any points for this game, I think we're doing pretty well. Hannibal with a free kick from distance, and that's really good goalkeeping there from Murray, and goals for them. He's just got them right off the hook there with a couple of really good saves. And we've got a corner to end the half on. Borza to take it. And Siebert gets up highest and heads home for us to give us a 2-1 lead coming into half time. So that's really important for us then. That's a great goal. Great goal to score right before half time. Have them shuffling about, not knowing what to do. So I'm going to tell them they're doing well, but I think they're capable of better. I think we have. We've had the better Napoli in that first half. Particularly at the end there, we had a good spray of shots going at the keeper. 11 shots away from home against Napoli is pretty impressive. They've had just the one on target so far. So another highlight here for us. Got Daga coming with it. And a couple of shots there, but we've come away with a corner off the back of it. We are pretty threatening from corners, so Borza to take it again. Swings it in, and Cittadini has his header saved from Murray. So yeah, 10 minutes into the second half, I'd say we've started pretty strongly again. Got a throw in on the right here from Mikic. Swings it in, doesn't come to anything from there. But Borza's managed to absolutely blast that one home out of the reach of the keeper to put us 3-1 ahead. Wonder if Conte still thinks that we're an easy opponent. Really making him eat his words today. So 3-1 up current the 65th minute. Again, Napoli are not threatening whatsoever at the moment. If anything, we're looking more likely to extend our lead. I think what we'll do is we'll make a few substitutions. I said Jude came into the game lacking a bit of fitness, so we'll bring Scott Boyle on to make his second appearance in the Champions League this season. Portanova's not having his greatest game, so I'm going to bring Rainier on the right. And Daga could be playing better, so I'm going to bring Watson on for him. A couple of guys on bookings, so we need to monitor that side of things, but I'm happy to keep them on the pitch for now. That'd be Cittadini and Kennedy. As we approach the final 10 minutes of the game, happy with the 3-1 lead here, as I said. Can't remember if I mentioned before, the Tycoon takeover never happened, so we're still stuck with Dave Cormack. Not disappointed with that, to be fair. He's been pretty good with all of our board requests, so Calvin Ramsey can come on, and we'll bring Brandon Williams on as well for the wing back positions. Yeah, final few minutes then of injury time. Very strong result for us here. I think we've shown over the last couple of seasons we can really mix it with some of the bigger teams, and that's certainly a very good performance for us. Obviously we've got a better squad, I would say, this season than we did last season again as well, managing to kind of blood in some of the youngsters in the Champions League, which is odd. You'd expect it to be the League or the Cup, but it seems to be the Champions League that I need to do it in. Tell the guys have done very well today. Continue on. So 6 points from 2 games so far. Can't really ask for much more. From probably better in that game than we did in our opening game. We'll continue on here just now. Got a slight knock for Mikic, so he'll probably miss his next game. And then we've got our money coming in. So looking at the schedule, we're going to come back for the second game of the episode against Man City at Ep2, and we'll play the St Johnstone and St Mirren games off camera. And so just a quick recap then of what's happened since the Napoli game. We went to McDermott Park after that to play St Johnstone. We came away with a 4-0 victory. Rainier, Wanta double, and Jude Soonsup-Bell getting on the score sheet. Then played St Mirren at home. Minogue opened the scoring in the second minute, and that Wally Brandon Williams gets sent off again on the 3rd minute to put us right in it. Jamie Lawrence got an equaliser in the 91st minute, really sparing our blushes in that game, but need to really think about Williams' future. He keeps getting sent off in games, just really annoying. So that brings us on to the game against Manchester City at Ep2. We'll get on to the team selection. Like you see the team sheet for today. In goals we'll have Dalberg, right back Mikic, central defence Cittadini and Siebert, Borza on the left side of defence. We'll change him to a full back on attack. Changed it back previously for Bradley Williams to play there. Better at the complete wing back position. Daga in defensive midfield, Portanova on the right wing, central midfield Ranocchia, Mosquera as the left winger, Soonsup-Bell and John Kennedy start up top today. So get the team submitted. A couple of new squad numbers again for the youngsters that have had to come in for the game, because we are short on squad for Champions League day. And into the dressing room, I think we'll just tell them we've got nothing to lose today, just go for it. And hopefully it will give us a nice positive start here. At the match preview we'll get a look at the lineups. We're doing our usual 4-4-2 formation again today. Man City, see if they've got Haaland and co playing yet. They're gone pretty much what looks to be full strength in a 4-3-3 with Haaland up top. So we'll get the game underway now. We've got Borza swinging it in and Soonsup-Bell puts it over. I was tempted to go to the tactic we used against them last season where we got the draw at the Etihad, but I felt like it was worth just playing our usual style of play. It's only the league phase at the moment anyway. Borza swings it in, and that was a really good chance here. Almost put away from the corner. Another chance here with Borza again. Swings it in. Siebert did get his head to it, but doesn't come to anything for us. So we started off very brightly. 6 shots in the first 15 minutes. City been a little bit limited despite their 70% possession there. So we are holding them pretty well at the moment. I expect them probably to come back into the game at some stage. Ederson's currently got the best rating of anyone on the pitch at the moment. Just goes to show you how well we've been performing and the chances we've been creating. There's been very little since that opening influx there, apart from a Kingsley Coman injury. And it looks like we're going to get to half time all square. So in the dressing room, I think we're doing pretty well, but I'm actually going to tell them that we should be doing better. Sometimes I think just the negative comments just seem to get a better reaction from players, so we'll see if that works in the second half here. As we kick off, we've got a highlight straight away in the 46th minute. Daga to Bell. Just playing it around the back, but see if City's came out with any more motivation. Rico Lewis at the back. Now City are just retaining possession. We're certainly hounding them here. And we've won the ball back in a good position. Ranocchia running through. And Vardy all managed to block that one. So we've got another corner. Need to make one of these count. Borza to swing it in. And we don't get our head to it this time. But it's back out for Mosquera on the right. Cross was just a little bit too far behind Soonsuit Bell there. So again, we're still in a good position. I wouldn't mind coming away with a draw from this game. It's one of our harder games in the group phase. And I think we're playing pretty well. Actually, probably would be a wee bit disappointed if we didn't come away with a win based on this performance so far, but we know City are very dangerous. We only really need to give Haaland one sniff at goal and he's going to put it away. We come forward again here, we've given it away. And Jude comes back to defend well for us here and regain possession. Got Mosquera on the left. He's found Kennedy. Mosquera's got a bit of space here. In for Jude, and Jude's put it home. We've got a 1-0 lead. It's going to be checked by VAR. I don't think Mosquera was offside there. It has been disallowed. Looked like he was in a little bit of space just because the right back had came forward, but there you go. We're still sitting at 0-0. Coming into the final 20 minutes of the game, I think we need to look now to make some changes, just get anyone off that's really kind of struggling. I thought Jude was playing pretty well, but 6.4 rating. We'll put Rachmani on just now, we'll bring Ranocchia off. We did lose Hannibal to injury before the game, unfortunately. He would have been starting this one, but can't really do much about it. We'll bring Williams on. We'll change him to the complete wing back. Again, I think he's a bit better having the opportunity to cut inside if he needs to. And we'll I think we'll just leave Portanova on for now. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that for now, I think. We'll just go the 3 changes. And we've got a corner in the 76th minute. Renier to take it. And we've got the opening goal with Jamil Siebert. He's been pretty good for us from corners. Him and Jamie Lawrence. Lawrence isn't registered for the Champions League. We just ran out of numbers and had to omit one of the centre backs. We're coming into the final 10 minutes. I think our players deserved that goal. We've had 2 clear-cut chances. City haven't had any whatsoever. Coming into the last 5 minutes. Again, this will be another massive scalp for us in Europe to add to PSG and Barca last season, Napoli this season. And now we can add Manchester City to the list of teams that can't beat Aberdeen in a one-off game. I know they did beat us last season in 2 legs, but we'll take this one. We'll tell the side that they've done exceptionally well there and get continuing on. So that puts us to the 9-point mark. Again, as I said last season, that's kind of where I like to aim when I'm with a smaller club, is to get to 9 points. Usually it's enough to get into the playoff round, but we're certainly in a position that we can look to exceed that and get through automatically again. And what we'll do, just before we wrap it up, we'll have a quick look at the league table just now. So we've had a few draws this season. St Mirren and Hibs, and the draw against Celtic, I don't mind that one, but we've been scoring plenty of goals. There's just been those kind of games, just stupid things like players getting sent off and things like that. So we're currently 4 points behind Rangers at the moment. So Rangers are going really well this season. I think we are actually yet to play Rangers, so that'll be a very important game for us to try and claw some points back. We do have the game in hand. Celtic have been dropping points. It sort of seems more regularly than what it actually is, but it just seems every now and again you come up and see Celtic not winning a game, and it's something you don't see very often. So we'll have a quick look at the finances before we leave off as well. We've got 40 million in the bank, 15 million in the transfer budget, wage budget. We've got plenty of scope to improve in that side of things as well. What we'll probably do is move this back across a little bit, give us more of a transfer budget for now. Reason why I like to do that is quite often if you've got a lot of surplus in your wage budget, I tend to find a lot of your players come to you asking for new contracts and bigger wages. So we'll try and avoid that side of things. In terms of the dev centre, we don't have anyone currently as first team candidates. We did have Scott Boyle in there for a while, but I think he's dropped off just a little bit, so we need to have a word with him about his progress. And if we look at the schedule just to see where we're going to come back for the next episode, probably just the next Champions League games I would imagine. So we're looking at away to Leipzig and at home to Besiktas. We'll come back for those two games. We've potentially got another Viaplay Cup final to come. So what I might do is I might consider, if we get to the Cup final, possibly just skipping past the Leipzig game, coming back for the Besiktas game and maybe the Cup final as well, and just going to take it from there again, just to get through the episodes a little bit quicker, not have too many within each season. So maybe do that, providing we get past Kilmarnock in that game. Again, thanks again for all the support, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for future content and to like, share and comment on the videos if you're happy to do so. Thank you.